Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn Wilson and I'm glad you're here tonight. I hope you're having a good day today. I hope you're having a good week. And if you're not, I hope it's going to get better. I just wanted to say hello to anyone that maybe this is your first time popping in and having a visit with us. I'm glad you're here. And if you've been visiting for a while now, I'm so glad you came back and welcome to my home. So I had a problem a few days ago. I'm sure you're all organized. You all have your shopping list and you all have, everything in your stockpile, pantry, and everything else perfectly done. Maybe not. So we're going to talk a little bit about what can we do if. For those of you that are new to my channel, just to introduce myself a little bit, I am a full-time working mama. I have 3 children. One is on disability, my husband is on disability, and we are quite involved as a family. We love living life, we love doing life, and life to me is not always about having a perfect home and a perfect, I'm not going to win a prize on Better Homes and Garden. But I do make good food for my family, and we have good fun, and we're involved, and we enjoy life. So life is a little chaotic sometimes, and you know what? That's okay. I'd rather live a life full of fun and adventure than worrying about that all my P's and Q's are always lined up. And so I guess you can basically sum up that I just do practical living for busy people. So if you need practical things in life, everyday things that you can go, oh, that's just what I needed. Yes, I need something practical. Because you're a busy person, you probably might get something out of this video. So the other day, I'm a busy working woman, I told you. I've been running. 2 weeks before that, I had done my grocery shopping. And, there's always something. There's always an alternative. Let's time out right there. There's always an alternative. It might not be exactly what you want. But unless you have everything and you have the perfect life where all your things are always perfect, then you need to not watch this video. But if you live a life that's a little bit crazy at times and a little upside down and inside out, and sometimes you put your sweater on and you can't get the right sleeve in right and you realize it's inside out and twisted, some of those days you feel like that. Well, that's how I was last week. I worked 5-6 days in a row, full on, full speed ahead at work, and every night we were out. So I was leaving the house at 6:30, 6:45 in the morning, getting home 9:30, 10:30 at night, never stepping foot in my house the whole time. So with that being said, it was just for a time, just for a season, that it was crazy, but we ran out of bread. I had no bread. I have a half a slice that doesn't look so hot, and I ran out of bread. What's a woman to do? I have a son who must have his sandwiches. I have a husband who needs food. I need to take lunch to work, and I ran out of bread. I don't know how it was back March, April, maybe even early part of May by you, but for us, sometimes we'd go to the grocery store, and there was not a loaf of bread on the shelf. When COVID first really hit hard, and we were having our, self-quarantining at home, and people were like running to the store and buying everything. They bought, I don't know what they did with all the bread, but they bought every loaf of bread. We would go store to store to store, and there might be one package of something on the shelf. So whether it's a situation like that, sometimes hurricanes or bad weather sends people in a tizzy and a panic, and they run and they buy eggs, milk, whatever, The funny thing was even ice cream was gone. I guess people stay home and eat ice cream. I don't know. But what do you do when you run out of bread? What can you do? So I came up with 12 alternatives that if you can't find bread, you run out of bread like I did, or whatever. Or maybe you just don't have the money for bread. This week, you've spent all your money on your groceries and there's no money left in the budget, even for a loaf of bread. What would you do? What could you do? There's always an alternative. There's always a solution. There's always an option that we can take. And that's what I want to encourage you is some of you are, new at cooking and new at, I had 2 young girls connect with me yesterday. They're in their early 20s and they both said to me, can you help us learn how to cook? And they each have different, one's a vegetarian and one just is a picky eater and only likes certain things. And the one girl said to me, I don't even know how to fry an egg. So there are people watching this channel that some of you got it down, you're good at this, rah, rah, that's great. Some people are really just starting out in life and didn't learn basic things like how to cook. And some of you have just had it so good for so long that the grocery stores always had what you needed. You never had to think of options and alternatives. So what would you do if you ran out of bread? Okay, I'm going to go through some very basic things that, just kind of shopping in my own stockpile and cupboards and pantry, options that maybe would intrigue you to say, I don't either have any of this in my house or I have some of it and I never thought of it. Again, we're not talking perfect meal. We're talking options that we can use if we run out of bread just to get by until we can get another loaf of bread. So, flour. All right, very simple flour. What could you use flour for? Well, obviously you can bake bread with flour. So you can make homemade bread. You can make bread in the bread machine. You can use your yeast and make yeast breads, or you can use your flour and make a non-yeast bread. I have a video on how to do fry bread. There's no yeast involved. It takes like 10 minutes to make. You can make, the other day, we had no bread. I made fry bread and I used 2 pieces of the fry bread and we used that as a roll for our hamburgers. It worked perfectly. You can make it thicker, you can make it thinner, you can make scones out of this, you can make biscuits out of this. You can make a lot of things out of just plain flour. So that's one option for you. Okay, crackers. These have cheese in them and these have peanut butter. So they're pre-made for you. These are a great, we call them grab and go snacks. You're going to hit the road, you're going to be on the road for a while, you're going to get hungry, you don't want to have to stop at a fast food or, a convenience store. But having these cheese crackers and these peanut butter crackers. Now, is this organically and wholly food? No. This is something to get you by until. So these have cheese in them. Is this the perfect cheese that you want to eat 3 meals a day, every day of the week? No. But this will get you by. This has peanut butter in it. Is it organic peanut butter? Is it only peanuts? No, this is not. We're not looking for the perfect item. We're looking for alternatives. So here's 2 options, but maybe just Triscuits, plain crackers, saltines, Ritz crackers, whatever, plain crackers, not filled with cheese and peanut butter are great. You can put peanut butter on them. You can put cheese on them. You can put deli meat on them, cream cheese on them. You can use those as an alternative for your bread. Okay, rice cakes. So you can buy the big bag like this, I got a whole case of 8 bags of rice cakes, 2 of each flavor from Amazon, and I got a really good deal on it, so I picked it up. I love these. Years ago when I was in my 20s and I was really trying, before there was keto and all that, I was really trying to be very good with my diet and salad and whatnot for lunch, and I really liked having the rice cake with tuna fish on it because I didn't want to be eating bread. I just got the plain rice cakes. I happen to like them, and everybody has these texture issues and things. You want to crunch. Sometimes you just want a potato chip because you want to have that crunchy food. The rice cake is a nice alternative that you can have tuna on it, you can have peanut butter on it, you can put deli meat, egg salad, whatever on a rice cake. Skip the bread, skip the chips, and still have the crunch and still have something other than just eating tuna out of a bowl or a can. So rice cakes, the Dollar Tree, I've talked about this multiple times, have brown rice cakes, $1. You can see the difference in the size. All right, these are very small. These are quite large. 2 of these with cream cheese and a little bagel seasoning in the morning is great with a cup of coffee. So that's another option for you. Okay, whether you're going keto, whether you're watching your diet or not, you're out of bread, period. What could you do? You could use lettuce leaves. You can do a lettuce wrap with your egg salad, your chicken salad, your tuna salad, your cold cuts, even a hard-boiled egg you can chop up and add a little mayonnaise or something like that. And you can make lettuce wraps with that. Use the leaves around a hamburger. I've seen that done so that you can have that as an alternative to bread. You can use this instead of a taco shell. And you can put your meats and your cheeses and all that in there. So these are alternatives too, not just if you run out of bread. These are just other options. The other thing I've seen, you can just use like half a pepper. And if you have nothing for bread, instead of making hamburgers, chop up the chopped meat and fill it in half a pepper and roast it like that. So that could also be an alternative for you for bread. Okay, tortillas. There you go. These you can get at the Dollar Tree. You can get at the grocery store. These are great. You can make these homemade if you had flour. They're not very expensive to buy. Like I said, you can get them at the Dollar Tree. You can make great wraps with this. Just peanut butter and jelly, cream cheese and vegetables, cream cheese and olives. You can put you can make chicken wraps like enchiladas, and you can do your beef on this, or fried rice and what am I thinking of? Refried beans. So the list is endless. Okay, so here's another option for you. Another one, I believe it's called Oopsie bread, and it's cream cheese and eggs. I've never made it, but some friends of mine have been on keto on and off, and they make that as an alternative to bread. So I'm not quite sure. You whip it up and then you just bake it or you fry it. I don't really remember. You can Google that and find out. But thinking through like, okay, what do I have in the house? I don't have flour. I can make Oopsie bread. Okay, how do I make it? Cream cheese and eggs. I have that. So always be thinking about what alternatives, what else do I have in my house that I can use? Okay, cake mix. So here's one, and I purposely grabbed this one, 75 cents. It's squished in the corner, so they marked it from $2.49 down to 75 cents. This says you save 25 cents. This was not $1 when I went and checked it out at Walmart. So what can you do with cake mix? Bake a cake, obviously, but you, I don't know, a number of videos back, I did a 2-ingredient muffin. I made pumpkin muffins with cake mix. So you take cake mix and add a can of pumpkin to it. Add cake mix and add a can of pineapple to it. There's many recipes out there. Cake mix and some fruit, 2-ingredient recipe. And that's a great alternative. You need breakfast muffins in the morning. The kids are running out. What else can you use? We can use pancake mix. You can make pancakes and waffles, and you can make them into a sandwich. McDonald's, McGriddles, right? 2 pancakes, put some sausage in the middle and an egg, and you've got a sandwich. Well, you can do the same thing. You can fry them up and use this as an alternative bread if you needed to. Again, is it the perfect way to go? Possibly not for you. But what do you do when you run out of bread? You have to come up with alternatives. All right, what else do we have? We have pizza crust. What did I do with that? Right here. Pizza crust mix. Now, this is something you can just add a little water to, and you can almost make it into a fry bread. You can bake it. You can make it into a flatbread. You can, pizza, breakfast pizza, you can do that. Put a little like white cream on the top of the pizza and add some scrambled eggs and some breakfast meats, or just scrambled eggs, or eggs and veggies, or just whatever. You can bake this too and cool it down. Put a cream cheese topping on it and some fresh veggies or some fresh fruit, and you have a nice breakfast alternative in the morning, lunch, or dinner. This was 42 cents at Walmart, and I picked this up purposely for tonight. 42 cents for this package. So these are great for the stockpile. This one expires December 30th of 2021. So I have a year and a half based on the expiration date, but many of us don't have a problem with going beyond the expiration date. You could stick these in the freezer. They'll even last longer. A year and a half for 42 cents. Let's just say you only kept it till December 30th. You have a year and a half to hang on to this in your stockpile. This is a great alternative. All right, what else can we do? Baking mix. Okay, regular baking mix. Biscuit type thing, baking mix. You can make pancakes. You can make scones. You can make cookies. You can make, what else they have? Dumplings on here, shortcakes. Shortcakes are great. There's no sugar in them. You can add whipped cream and fruit to it. I haven't done that in years, have I, honey? Got to go back and do that. Strawberries and whipped cream, but you know what? You can make a shortcake and you can put peanut butter and cream cheese and meats on it, and scrambled egg on it or a fried egg on it. And again, is it perfect? No, but we ran out of bread. We have to look for solutions. Okay, and canned biscuits. This is a great option. Sometimes we have one of these and you have nothing else. You can I made these in the air fryer. They come out fine. You can pop them in your oven, pop them in your toaster oven. The only thing is, once you open the can, not like the Bisquick where you can just take out a cup. These, once you open it, you have to use it. That's fine. Make them the night before, and then in the morning you can make little sandwiches. It would be kind of fun. Make a little tuna sandwich and a little egg salad sandwich. You have two little, in a sense, sliders, and then put the rest in a container, airtight container, or in a sandwich, Ziploc bag or something, and just save them. They'll last a day. Like you could, if you made them tonight, you have them all day tomorrow, and the next day, I'd say by lunchtime, you'd want to use them up. But again, you're out of bread. You need an alternative. This could work. So we have flour and crackers, rice cakes and lettuce, tortillas, oopsie bread, cake mix, pancake mix, pizza crust mix, baking mix, canned rolls. What are some other things maybe that you didn't think of? I picked these up. They were 99. No, they weren't 90. Were they 90? I think they were 99 cents. I just didn't want. There are Hawaiian sweet rolls. There's 4 in a package. I don't know. It was 99 cents or less. I don't remember. But 4 of them. Now, you might be saying, that's ridiculous. That's so much money. You can get a bigger package. I could. I'm not a big family. I don't need a lot. So, in a sense, it's better for me to buy just a small package for $1 than to buy a big package and waste it. But 4 little sandwiches. There we go. That's an alternative. Bagels. Do you have bagels in the freezer? You have bagels somewhere? You can make all kinds of sandwiches out of this. You can eat a plain bagel. You can make it into a sandwich. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. How about English muffins? Yes, you can make sandwiches out of this too. Sometimes you kind of get a bug in your head. This is a breakfast bread. No, this is not just a breakfast bread. These are alternatives for you. You can keep in your stockpile little bags like this of muffins, especially in the morning. I ran out of bread. I can pick it up on the way home from work, but I can't do it right now. Or it's at night, it's late, it's 11 o'clock at night, and you have to go to bed and get to work, but the kids need breakfast in the morning. You need breakfast in the morning. Your husband, whatever. Keep these in your stockpile. They last for 2 years on the expiration dates, and yes, they can last longer, and they freeze well. So there's many, many alternatives. Again, these alternatives are not the perfect meal. I get many of you saying it's not organic, it's fake food, all of that. Listen, if you've never had to want for food, if you've never been broke and you've never needed an alternative, then you would not understand. But if you're like me and you've had to do without, and there is no money until maybe 5 days from now, and you're going to scrounge and look in your kitchen to see what you can come up with to feed yourself and or your family, and you can relate to that, then you know what I mean. Sometimes we just can't have that perfect meal. When it becomes available and the funds are there for you to go all organic and all wholesome and all of that, fantastic. But sometimes you just can't do that. You make ends meet with what you have. Another alternative, pretzels. For a sandwich, well, you can't really make a sandwich out of it because it does have the holes in it, but I'll tell you what, you can dip this. I had this for dinner last night, believe it or not. Extra dark pretzels are my absolute favorite. I didn't feel like something big. I just needed a little something. I had worked a double shift yesterday. I was exhausted. I got home late at night. It was close to probably 9:30, quarter to 10, and I honestly had done a double. I was beat. I took pretzels. I took a little cream cheese and I dipped the pretzels in the cream cheese. I got a little protein. I got a little bread. It was enough to sustain me. Dip it in peanut butter. You can come up with your own alternatives to that. You can take cream cheese, add some fruit to it, dip your pretzels in that. There's another option for you. So I hope that helps you kind of think out of the box. What happens when you run out of bread? What do? We come up with alternatives. Most of us might not have all of this in their stockpile, but you probably have maybe just pancake mix, or maybe just baking mix, or maybe some pizza dough, or a can of biscuits, or some English muffins. Again, you might not have all of it. Maybe you do and you went, I never thought of that. That's what I'm hoping for, is just to get your mind thinking, how can I be creative? How can I find solutions? And so on. And don't forget, this is still the month of September, and many of you said you're going to join me, and we're going to be kind. And I did have an act of kindness the other day, and I'm going to put that in my next video and show you a picture of part of it. I can't show all of it because I didn't want to embarrass the person that I was helping. But don't forget, there's not enough kindness out there, and every month from now until December, we're going to take on a challenge. And if you want to join the challenge of being kind, I'm asking you to just put that in the comments below and saying, hey, I'm going to join you. And if you missed that, check my last video out. We talked more about this. But just doing acts of kindness for people. At the end of the month, you will be a better person for it, and so will the entire world around you. So take on the challenge of being kind and put your thinking cap on for when you run out of bread. What alternatives do you have in your stockpile and in your pantry? Thanks for visiting. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to catch more of my videos, give me a thumbs up. It's helping my channel grow. And don't forget to leave me a comment. I love hearing from you all. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time when you visit my home.